Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. President Trump was in his second term as the leader of the country. One day, he made a big announcement. He told everyone about a major new plan. This plan was very important for the country's safety. The plan was for something called the Golden Dome. The Golden Dome was a system. Its job was to protect the country from dangers. It was a special kind of defense. It was a missile defense system. Missiles are fast weapons that can travel long distances. The Golden Dome should stop these missiles. It should stop them before they can hit the country. Think of it like a big shield, a shield that covers the whole country. When the president announced the Golden Dome, it was big news. People everywhere heard about it. They saw it on television news. They read about it in the newspapers. They heard it on the radio. They talked about it with their friends and families. The project got a lot of attention very quickly. Why did so many people care? Because it was about safety. Everyone wants to feel safe in their home country. Also, the Golden Dome was a very big idea. It was about new technology. It was about something that had not been built before on this scale. It was a huge project. People were very interested in this plan. They had many questions. How would this Golden Dome work? Would it really protect against all missiles? How much would it cost to build this big shield? Where would the money come from? How long would it take to finish? People also thought about what it would mean for the future. Would it make the country much safer? Would it change how the country uses its money? Would it create jobs? How would other countries react to this big shield? The announcement was just the beginning. It started many discussions across the country. People wanted to learn more details about the technology. They wanted to understand the potential cost. They wanted to know who would build it. The Golden Dome was a big topic. It was more than just a building project. It was a symbol of trying to be completely safe. It showed that the country was thinking about new threats. It was a plan that could change things a lot, not just for safety, but perhaps for the economy too. This big project got everyone's attention. Some people felt hope. They thought the Golden Dome would make their lives safer. Other people felt worried. They worried about the cost or if it was even possible to build. Many people were interested in seeing what would happen next with this plan. The story of the Golden Dome was just starting. It was a story about a big shield, a big cost, and a big hope for safety. 2. A new big shield. The Golden Dome project is a very large and important plan. It is a new system for defense. You can think of it as a big shield for the country. This shield is designed to protect against missiles. Missiles are powerful weapons that can fly very fast and travel over great distances. The Golden Dome is planned to stop these dangerous missiles. The goal is for it to intercept missiles even if they are launched from places across the world, far away from the country it protects. The president shared more information about when this big shield will be ready. He said it should be finished in 3 years. This is a quick schedule for a project of this size. Building something so complex in just 3 years will require a lot of effort and speed. The money needed for the Golden Dome is also very large. The president stated that the cost will be around $175 billion. This huge amount of money shows how big the project is and how much work is involved. A leader has been chosen for this important work. A general from the United States Space Force will be in charge. His name is Michael A. Getline. He is a high-ranking officer in the part of the military that deals with space. He will manage the building of the Golden Dome. The government has already selected the main design for the system. This design is called the architecture. It describes how the shield will work and what parts it will have. The idea for the Golden Dome gets some inspiration from Israel's Iron Dome system. However, the Golden Dome is planned to be much, much bigger. The Iron Dome protects smaller areas from short-range threats. The Golden Dome needs to protect a whole large country from advanced missiles that fly very far and fast. Building this giant shield is a very difficult job. It needs new technology and complex systems. Many different groups will work on it, including government agencies and private companies. They will all work together under the general's leadership. The project aims to meet the 3-year timeline and the $175 billion cost. The reason for this big project is that some countries are developing new and faster missiles. The Golden Dome is meant to help protect the country from these growing threats. It is a big challenge to build such a system, but the plan is now in motion with a chosen design, a leader, a cost, and a timeline. 3. Who makes the shield? Building the Golden Dome is a very big job. Many companies in the country want to do this work. This project is very important and will cost a lot of money. Because it is so large, many different companies are interested in getting a part of the work. Some companies are very large. They build things for the military and have done big projects before. These are called defense contractors. They have a lot of experience with complex systems. Other companies are focused on new technology. These tech companies have ideas for modern systems and software. They can help with the high-tech parts that the Golden Dome needs. One well-known company that is interested is called SpaceX. SpaceX is famous for building rockets and working in space. Since the Golden Dome might be a space-based system, companies like SpaceX are very interested. Large defense companies and tech companies like SpaceX are all competing to win contracts for the project. These companies do not just say they want the job. They create detailed plans. Their plans show how they would build the shield. They explain the technology they would use. They show how much it might cost. Then they present these ideas to leaders in the government. They make presentations, hoping to persuade the government that their plan is the best one. The government received many different ideas from these companies. They looked at proposals for building the shield in different ways. Some ideas might have been simpler and others very complex. The government studied all the options carefully. They needed to find the best way to protect the country from missiles. After much study, the government made a big decision. They did not choose a company yet, but they chose a plan. They selected a specific design for the Golden Dome system. This design is like the main blueprint. It shows the basic structure and how the different parts of the system will work together. This chosen design is the plan that everyone will follow. Selecting the design is a very important step. It tells everyone what the Golden Dome will be. Now that the design is chosen, the government can start picking the specific companies that will build the different parts of this design. This is the next stage in making the shield real. Building the Golden Dome is a very difficult task. It is too big for just one company. It will require many different companies to work together. These companies will work on different parts, like the hardware, the software, and the control systems. It will also need government agencies to help manage all the work. Getting a contract for the Golden Dome is a big opportunity for any company. It means they will be part of building a major defense system for the country. The companies chosen will have to work closely together and with the government to complete this large and complex project. 4. Can it be done? The plan for the Golden Dome was ready. The president said it would be finished in 3 years. He also said it would cost about $175 billion. This was a very big project with a clear goal and timeline. But some people who work with defense systems were not sure if this plan was easy to do. They looked at the details and had questions. They thought that maybe 3 years was not enough time to build such a large system. Building something so new and big could take much longer. Some thought it could take 7 or even 10 years to build a defense system like this. There were also questions about the money. $175 billion is a lot of money. However, some people believed the final cost could be much higher. They thought it could cost hundreds of billions of dollars. It is hard to know the exact cost of a project that has never been built before. People sometimes talked about the Golden Dome and compared it to Israel's Iron Dome. The Iron Dome is a real system that works now. It protects small areas from short-range missiles. Israel is a small country about the size of one of the United States. The Iron Dome is successful for its job, but the Golden Dome plan is very different. It needs to protect a very large country. It needs to stop different kinds of missiles that can come from far away. This makes the Golden Dome much bigger and more complex than the Iron Dome. It is a completely different challenge. Building a system like the Golden Dome is very difficult. It needs new technology and many different parts working together in space and on the ground. The idea of building a missile shield for the whole country has been discussed for many years, but it has never happened before. This is because of the difficult technology and the high cost. So, while the plan was announced, the question remained, can it really be done in 3 years for $175 billion? Some people who understand these systems were not sure it was possible as planned. 5. Paying for the shield. Building the Golden Dome is a very big job. It needs a lot of money to happen. President Trump talked about how some of this money will be found. He said that $25 billion will be used for the project. This money will come from a new plan. This plan is about government spending and taxes. It is called a spending cut and tax bill. This new plan changes how the government uses money. It means the government will spend less money on some things. It might also change how people pay taxes. The idea is to find money for the Golden Dome project. The president wants a group in the government called the House of Representatives to agree to this plan. He is asking them to pass the bill. Finding this much money is a big topic for people to talk about. People are discussing how this money will be used for the Golden Dome. They want to know where the $25 billion will go exactly. Will it be for building parts? Will it be for the people who work on it? These are important questions. People are also talking about the results of this plan. If the government spends less money on some things, what will happen to those things? Will it cause problems in other areas? Some people think finding money this way is good for the project. Others think it might hurt other important government work. There are many different ideas about this financial plan. The money from this spending cut and tax bill is just one part of paying for the Golden Dome, but it is a very important first step. It shows how the government plans to start funding this large project. The discussions about this money plan are happening now. People are watching to see how it will work and what it will mean for the country's money and for the Golden Dome shield. 6. Neighbors talk. Other countries around the world were watching the United States. They saw the big plan for the Golden Dome. It was a new idea for protection. One country that watched closely was Canada. Canada is a very important neighbor to the United States. The two countries have a long history of working together. They share not just a border, but also many interests. Security is a main area where they cooperate closely. Canada showed interest in the Golden Dome project. People in Canada wanted to know more about it. The Canadian government contacted the government of the United States. Canada said they were interested in being involved with the project. They also asked about how the Golden Dome could provide protection for Canada as well. This was a key question for Canada. Living next to the United States means their security is often connected. Leaders from both countries began to have discussions. These talks were about the relationship between the United States and Canada. They focused on how they could work together on security matters. They talked about making their defense stronger together. The Golden Dome was a new part of these discussions. The talks included existing ways the countries cooperate. A very important example is NORAD. NORAD is a joint command. It stands for North American Aerospace Defense Command. Its job is to watch for airplanes or missiles coming towards North America. It helps the United States and Canada protect their skies and seas together. The leaders discussed how to make NORAD even stronger. This meant looking at new technologies and new ways of working. They also talked about other projects that are connected to NORAD. The Golden Dome was mentioned as one of these important related initiatives. It was seen as a possible new layer of defense for the continent. The discussions were not just about the Golden Dome itself. They were about the future of security cooperation between the two nations. Canada and the United States needed to decide how this new defense system would fit into their shared plans. Canada wanted to understand the technology and the goals of the Golden Dome. They wanted to find ways to participate or benefit from it. These talks were a natural step because the countries are neighbors and partners. The talks between the Canadian Prime Minister's ministers and their American counterparts were important. They showed that the Golden Dome was not just a United States project. It was something that affected neighbors and led to important conversations. These discussions about strengthening NORAD and including the Golden Dome were continuing. They were a sign of the close relationship and shared security goals of the two countries. The neighborly talks about protection were a significant part of the story. They showed how a big project in one country can lead to important discussions with another. 7. Other lands worry. The news about the Golden Dome project went around the world. Not all countries were happy to hear about it. Some countries felt worried about this big new shield. One country that showed strong worry was China. Officials in China spoke about their concerns. They said the Golden Dome was not just a shield for defense. They thought it looked like a system that could be used for attacking. China worried about space. They said the Golden Dome could lead to putting weapons in space. This idea of putting weapons in space is called space militarization. China felt this would make space a place where countries might fight. They thought it would increase the chance of conflict in space. Another big worry for China was an arms race. An arms race happens when countries start building more and more weapons because another country is building them. China said the Golden Dome could make countries build more missiles and other weapons. They felt this would make the world less safe. Because of these worries, China asked the United States to stop the Golden Dome project. They said the plan was a problem for international security. The United States answered these concerns. They said the Golden Dome system is only for defense. They stated its purpose is to protect the country from missile threats. They mentioned that different countries are developing new and faster missiles. The U.S. said the Golden Dome is needed to stop these missiles and keep the country safe. They explained it is a shield, not a weapon to attack other countries. So, while some countries like Canada were interested in working with the U.S. on the Golden Dome, other countries like China saw it as a threat. The building of the Golden Dome was causing different reactions around the world. It was a big project with big effects on international relations and security discussions. 8. What happens next? Building the Golden Dome is a very big project. It is also very difficult work. This task is complex. It is not simple to build a shield that can stop missiles from far away. Many parts must work together correctly. This makes the work hard. Building the Golden Dome needs many different skills. It includes building structures, creating computer systems, and managing many people. Coordinating all these parts is a major challenge. Making sure every part works right all the time is very hard. There are many challenges to overcome. A challenge is a difficult problem. People working on the project must find answers. For example, they must invent new technology. They must build things that have never been built before. It is hard to make all the different systems work together. Building something so large and powerful is a big challenge. It needs much planning and many smart people. It needs careful work every day. Testing the system is also a big task. Any small problem could make the shield less effective, so the work must be done very carefully. The United States needs this shield because missile threats are growing. Other countries have missiles that can travel long distances. Some missiles are new and very fast, called advanced missiles. Current defenses have difficulty stopping them. The number of these missiles is growing, so the danger is growing too. Threats are changing. Countries are developing faster missiles that can change direction, making them harder to find and stop. The Golden Dome is planned to stop these new threats. It must be very fast and smart to see and react quickly. The need for this defense grows because threats are harder to handle. The discussion about the Golden Dome will continue. People across the country and in other places talk about it. Some believe the shield is needed for safety. Others have questions. They worry about the cost and if it can be finished. They worry about effects on other countries. There are many different ideas. This debate is an important part of the project. It shows many people care. The debate is also about if it is the right choice. People discuss spending money and if it makes the world safer. These discussions happen in government, news, and among regular people. Many people will watch to see how the project develops. They are interested in the progress. They want to know if challenges are met and if new technology works. They want to know if the shield is built as planned. People will follow news updates on construction. They will see how it goes forward. Because the project is big, many eyes are on it. People read news and talk about it. They check if it is on track. They look for signs of success or difficulty. The story of the Golden Dome is still being written. Many people are waiting to see what happens next.